My name is Amanda Harrison. I am the assessment coordinator at Palo Alto College. I work in the TLC with Mallory, and we're happy to be here and can't wait to tell you more about YouTube. Mallory is going to be doing most of that. I have a little part, but I'll be monitoring the chat, so if you have any questions, just throw them my way and I'll be sure to get them answered.
All right, well, without further ado, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send you this PowerPoint in the PDF. So if you can bear with me real quick, I'm going to send this in the chat. And at the end of the presentation, I will send it again, just for anyone who might be joining in a little bit late, they'll still have access to this PDF. So real quick. Okay, so I'm sending the PDF in the chat. You should have access to it. All the links that we're going to be playing for you, all the information that's going to be presented to you can be found inside this PDF. So feel free to double click and save that PDF. It's going to be in the chat. Give it a quick double click and you will have access to our PowerPoint. I'm going to start sharing the screen. All right. As we stated before, welcome. This is called YouToo Can YouTube. So this is pretty much going to be revolving around getting those Zoom recordings or any video recordings saved to YouTube, so that way you're able to keep track and do share links in any kind of email or Canvas course without it eating up your space or your files. So welcome. Just to go over some norms, please make sure to mute your mic. Please use the chat box if you have any questions. We're going to have time in the presentation where I'm going to ask Amanda, hey, is there any questions that we need to talk about? Things like that. You registered for the Zoom meeting, so that's great. That means we have all your information. And just so you know that this Zoom meeting will be recorded. So Amanda, I think I had paused the recording if you wanted to start that up again.
It's back up, don't worry.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's get started. So here's just a basic timeline of what we're going to kind of cover. And again, we want to make sure that we can leave some time at the end for any kind of questions or answers that you might have. And we really want to make sure that we stay on track so that way you're able to get those breaks in. All right, so first things first, you need a Zoom account. So a little bit of information, YouTube is owned by Google. So therefore, you must have a Google account in order to create a YouTube account. Now, if you have a Gmail, then you have a Google account. So any videos that you upload into YouTube are going to be connected to your Google account. And another great nifty thing about uploading your videos to YouTube is that YouTube automatically creates captions for any uploaded video. Now, later on in this presentation, Amanda's really going to focus on some of the abilities that YouTube has with the captions once a video has been uploaded. So real quick, the first step would be to go to YouTube. And then once you go to YouTube, you are going to see, and I did a little screenshot here for you, a little box that says sign in. Now, just to give you a little bit of information, the way I run my presentations is that I like to do a bunch of screenshots, and then I like to play a little video that I create that kind of sees those screenshots being played out. So just keep that in mind as well when you go through that PDF. So when you click this blue box, you're going to be asked to sign in or to create a Gmail account. So it's going to be one or the other. And for all intents and purposes, I'm going to do this training from the point of view of creating a Google account. So if you already have a Gmail, you just simply sign in with your Gmail. But for the rest of this, we're going to pretend that we are going to create a Google account in order to have access to YouTube. So when you select create an account, you will say for myself. Then you'll be asked to fill in some basic information, create a password, and then click next. Right here, I found this little YouTube video, and I'm not going to play all of it, which really covers that step-by-step process of those screenshots in creating a Google account. I'm going to make sure I share my, sorry. I need to make sure that I share my sound. All right, let's try this again.
To get the most out of YouTube, you'll need to sign in with a Google account. And if you want to upload videos, you'll also need to create a YouTube channel. In this video, we'll show you how to get a Google account and use it to sign into YouTube and create a YouTube channel. Keep in mind that a Google account and a YouTube channel are not exactly the same thing. If you have a Google account, you can use it to sign into YouTube to like videos and subscribe to your favorite creators. When signed in, you'll also get personalized video recommendations based on your activity. Having a YouTube channel lets you upload your own videos and gives you a public presence on YouTube. If you already have a Google account, you can use it to sign into YouTube. Just enter the email address that you would use for other Google products. For example, if you have a Gmail account, use that email address and password when you sign in. If not, you can easily create a Google account directly from YouTube. Start by going to youtube.com or opening the YouTube app. If you're on a computer, click Sign In, then click Create Account. From here, you'll be asked to fill in your information. If you're on a mobile device, select the profile picture icon, and then tap Sign In. You'll see a plus sign, which you can select to add an account. Choose Create Account from the Sign In page. Now that you're signed in,
all right, so that kind of just covered what those screenshots I presented covered. So the next step would be to download your Zoom recordings. So we followed our steps. We have access to YouTube. We created our account. Now we need to download our Zoom recordings. So so in order to get to your Zoom recordings, in order to download them, you need to go to alamo.zoom.us in order to access your Zoom recordings. So some of you might set up your Zoom meetings in Canvas. You're not going to be able to download your Zoom recordings. You're going to have to go to Alamo Zoom. Once you're in your Alamo Zoom, your page should look very similar to this. The second thing would be to click on the word recordings, and then a list of all Zoom recordings will appear. And then you will see the words files. You are going to want to click on this particular file in order to get the download. So once you click on file, you will see that you have access to download the video. And if you're not too sure which one's which, you can simply click on the title and it will start to play out for you. And then you can make a really good decision on which recording you would like to download. And some people might have 2 files. Some people might have 5. It all depends on how you set up your Zoom recordings. And in this case, all I asked was that the shared screen with speaker view be the only thing that gets recorded in my Zoom meetings. So then I'm going to click this download icon to begin my download. Once it starts, you're going to have your pop-up file will appear on your computer, and then here you will select where you want to save your download. Now, I'm going to play the video that's going to pretty much play out exactly what I just walked you through. But before I start to play this video, Amanda, are there any questions that I need to address right now?
Not at the moment.
All right. So I'm going to start playing this, and I think I'm going to have to do a new share, so bear with me. All right.
The purpose of this video is to demonstrate how to download your Zoom recordings. So first you're going to go to the alamo.zoom.us. You are going to sign in. Then you're going to click on Recordings. If you've already conducted some Zoom meetings and you have selected to have them record to the cloud, this is where you would go to find these Zoom recordings. Now, when you find a recording that you would like, you would then click on Files. And then you're going to select which file you want to download. Because I will not need to download the chat file that I've saved. I will just need to share the screen with the speaker view. And if you're not sure which item you should download, you can always click on the title and then you can actually see it out in front of you. And you're like, oh, this is the recording that I want. So then you can go back and then you can click download, which is this little arrow right here. I'm going to start my download process, and here I'm going to see the file begin to download. Depending on the size of the recording, this may take a few minutes. Now that my file is downloaded, I'm going to exit that and I'm going to go view this file. So I'm going to click on my files and then I'm going to click on downloads. I've clicked on downloads and right up here I can see my video that has been downloaded in Zoom. So now that I've downloaded my Zoom, I am now ready to share or upload this video.
All right, so before I move on to the next step, I want to make sure, are there any questions that need to clarify that downloading and saving process?
The purpose of this video is to walk you.
There aren't any in the chat, but I did just want to share that when we're going through this presentation, the way we set up the PowerPoint and the PDF that you received, a lot of the screenshots are there for reference material later, and the videos are going to be a walkthrough that details the process a little bit more. So just to clarify that if you look through it later or if it seems like we're moving really fast through the screenshots, it's because we're trying to get to those recorded walkthrough videos.
All right, so we're going to move on to our next portion, which is setting up and saving audio transcripts in Zoom. So one of the really great features that Zoom has to offer is that it can save like a Word doc of your audio transcript, which can be very helpful or come in handy in case someone is requiring, who needs those access to those captions. So what I did is I created this extra step here in case anyone is interested. If you don't really care about the audio transcript, you can kind of just skip over this part. But for those of you who might find this very useful, or you might, oh, I can attach this audio transcript in my Canvas course under my Zoom recordings. This will be great. Well, in order to have access to this audio transcript, you got to kind of set it up in your Zoom meeting. So I created this little YouTube video that's going to walk you through making those changes to have that audio transcript available to be downloaded.
The purpose of this video is to walk you through adjusting your Zoom recording settings to allow for an audio transcript to be saved. So first I'm going to go to my browser and then I'm going to access my alamo.zoom.us. I will then sign in. Next, I will click on Settings. Under Settings, I will then click Recording. So I want to focus in on the recording settings of all my meetings. Please keep in mind that these settings will reflect in all of the meetings that you currently have and any future meetings you plan on creating. So here I'm going to follow Cloud Recording. So I'm going to select Audio Transcript, and then I'm going to click Save. Remember, this will only work if you have your meetings recorded and if you have your meetings saved to the cloud. Now, since my settings have been saved, now any future recordings will have an audio transcript file that I'm able to download and share.
Okay, so any questions on those process of adjusting your settings to have an audio transcript? Nope, we're good. Okay, So once your Zoom settings are set to save your audio transcript, you will be able to download these transcripts. And here I did a video link to walk you through downloading and saving this file.
The purpose of this video is to demonstrate the process of accessing any audio transcripts from a Zoom meeting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log in to my alamo.zoom.us, and then I will sign in. And as soon as you sign in, you will see a page very similar to this. The next step, in order to access the audio transcripts, you need to click on Recordings. And now here I will see one of my Zoom meetings that was recorded. I'm going to click on this Zoom meeting, and here I will see the option
We're
for
not
the
seeing a
audio
video
transcript.
right now.
So I just
No? Oh, I'm,
Sorry, I was answering a question in the chat. And
let's see. How about now? It should say Google.
yeah, we can see it now.
All right, I do apologize for that. All right, it's a short video, so it should be okay.
The purpose of this video is to demonstrate the process of accessing any audio transcripts from a Zoom meeting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log in to my alamo.zoom.us, and then I will sign in. And as soon as you sign in, you will see a page very similar to this. The next step, in order to access the audio transcripts, you need to click on Recordings. And now here I will see one of my Zoom meetings that was recorded. I'm going to click on this Zoom meeting, and here I will see the option for the audio transcript. So if I just want the audio transcript, I can download that particular item. When I do, I'm going to click Open. It's going to ask if I want to open it on a different app, and I'm going to suggest that you open it on Word. Click OK. And now here you'll see my transcript. Now my recording was very short. It was under a minute, so my transcript doesn't show very much. But once you have this transcript, you can file Save As, and you can title this Audio Transcript, the date, and the title of the meeting. You would put all that information here. You would click Save, hit OK, and now you have the availability to not only share your recording, but to also, say, email an attachment of the audio transcript as well. Now, please keep in mind, the audio transcript will only be made available if you are, one, recording your meetings, and two, if you are saving these recordings to the cloud. And don't forget that there's an extra step that you will need to take in your settings, which will allow the audio transcript to be saved. So make sure that your settings are adjusted for the audio transcript.
All right, Amanda, do we have any questions on this particular step?
No, not about the audio transcript. We have had some interesting conversations about the idea of editing our videos from Zoom, and I know that we'll be talking about that a little bit later, so I just wanted to make sure everybody had heard that, because maybe not everyone's keeping up with the chat, but Zoom is like a live video conferencing platform, and so when we download those videos, we're downloading those live recordings and then doing something with them on YouTube. But you can get your videos from other places like MediaSite, or if you've recorded it maybe in PowerPoint, and then those can also be uploaded to YouTube. So there's a lot of functionality that we're going over today.
Yes, great question. Thank you so much, Amanda, for clarifying that. So the next step, and I think probably the most important reason why we're all here, is the uploading process to YouTube. And for this particular example, I'm focusing on uploading Zoom recordings to YouTube. But please keep in mind, just as Amanda said, these steps that we're covering, from taking something that was saved to your computer and uploading it to YouTube, these same steps can be followed, whether it's a Zoom recording or, as Amanda suggested, a different recording from a different video or platform as well. So please keep that in mind. So just to kind of cover what we've done, you've already, theoretically, you would have already created your YouTube account. You would have downloaded and saved your video, whether it's a Zoom recording or a different video. And now we are finally ready to take that recording from our saved in the computer to now into YouTube. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to YouTube. You just type it into your search engine. And when you go into YouTube, you're going to be asked to sign in. And after you sign in, this is going to be a screenshot of what your home page is going to look like. And you'll see a small icon that kind of looks like a film or a video cam recorder, has a little plus sign. You're going to want to click on that. And what it's going to do, it's going to ask, do you want to upload a video? And you're going to make that selection. And then it's going to ask you to select the file from your computer that you would like to have downloaded. And in this example, I'm going to select the file that was the Zoom recording, which was saved as an MP3 as an MP3, where did I get 4? As an MP3 in order to be uploaded into YouTube. So here I have my Zoom recording selected. And what YouTube does, it allows you to give a description, put in a title, any information you want to give about your Zoom recording. And then you will click next. You can say, yes, it's made for kids, or no, it's not made for kids. You know, it doesn't really matter if you put yes or no. It's just one of those things that YouTube likes to do when they ever have their algorithm and they're doing a search engine. So it doesn't really matter what you put. And then after you make your selection, you'll click next. You can skip this part, video elements. We're not going to be covering video elements. Don't even worry about it. And I will just skip over and click next again. And then here, you need to decide your visibility of your video. Now, this is kind of where it gets a little tricky because you have to figure out who your audience is, what your purpose for behind these uploaded videos. Do you want to keep it private where only a select few are allowed to see it? Do you want to have it unlisted? And unlisted means anyone can watch your video that has a link. However, if they try to go to YouTube and search for the title of the video or even search for you, it's not going to appear because it's unlisted. Or you can select public. Anyone can watch the video. Anyone with the link or anyone who stumbles upon it when they are searching through YouTube. Just so a bit of information, the TLC has a YouTube channel and we leave all our videos public because we want to make sure that everyone can see it. Once you've made your selection, you can click save. And what I did here, I pretty much created 2 images that kind of break down what's the difference between unlisted, private, and public to give you a little bit more detail in your choices there. And then, of course, once you've selected your visibility, this little box will pop up and it'll start to tell you whether or not the video is processing. And as you can see that this Zoom recording is actually 56 minutes and it will still upload, but it might take a while. And you'll see that when I play out the video of this process going live. And then once your video has been uploaded, you're able to edit your video. And by edit your video, you can kind of go in and edit your information, add any extra items that you like for your video. We're not really going to go into the nitty-gritty of all the availability that YouTube has to offer when it comes to editing videos, simply because it's time. And we just really wanted to cover the basics. It can be kind of overwhelming if we just put so much information all at once. But just keep in mind that if you wanted to change the title, change the details of your video, you're able to do so. And if you want to go back and say, oh, I have this as unlisted, I think I want to make it public, that's where you can make those changes. So I'm going to play out the whole process of uploading a video to YouTube. But before I get to that play out, Amanda, how are we doing on questions?
We're still doing good. I figure I'll share one just to make sure, because I know you went over it, but just in case, because I was answering in the chat. I know a lot of people are concerned about maybe putting their videos out there and making them public. Unlisted is a really great option if you're kind of in that intermediate step. You're like, well, I want people to get my videos, but I don't want the world to see them yet. Unlisted is a great option because you share the link with anybody and they can view it. That's different from private. Private is a lot more restrictive. So unlisted is the way to go if you want people to see your videos, but you don't want everyone to see your videos.
Yes, if you're not ready to be a YouTube star like Tony had stated at the beginning of the meeting, your best bet would be unlisted. So that way only the people with the link can view your video. So that way you're able to kind of figure out who has access to view the video if you're just keeping it to, say, you know, your fellow colleagues in an email, or say your students in Canvas. So that can be your best bet. Thank you, Amanda. Okay, so I'm going to play out the video of uploading a video to YouTube. So let me do a new share. You're seeing this okay, Amanda?
The purpose of this video is to walk you
Yes.
through uploading your Zoom recording to YouTube. Please note that you need to have already created a YouTube account in order to proceed, and you must have already downloaded your Zoom recording. So since I've already created a YouTube account, I will just type in YouTube, and I will click onto YouTube, and here there's a little icon that kind of looks like a camera with a plus sign, and if I hover my mouse over it, it says Create. I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to select Upload Video. When I make that selection, you will see my screen is now ready for me to select a file I have downloaded. And now I'm going to select a Zoom recording that I have downloaded from my alamo.zoom.us. I'm going to click on Downloads, and there's the recording. Then I will click Open. Now you will see that Zoom is starting to download my video. Here I can put in the title, and I can call this Advanced Zoom Session. And then I can give a detailed description about what this video is. So for my detailed description, I put, this is a recording of the Advanced Zoom Session for Convocation 2020. Then I will click Next. Is this made for kids? I'm going to say no, that this is made for adults. Click Next. I'm going to click Next one more time because I have no video elements, and then Visibility. Now, depending on your preference, you can make your selection. Do you want this private to only the people that you give the link, that you share the link to, can view it? Or if you click Unlisted, and now you can choose your visibility. Do you want this to be private, where only you type in the email of those who get to watch this video? Do you want it unlisted, which means anyone that you share your YouTube link can see the video? Or do you want it public, where if anyone tries to type in your name or the title of the YouTube video, it can be found? So for this example, I'm just going to say unlisted, and then I'm going to click Save. Now I will need to allow YouTube to upload my recording. Please do not close this box while it is uploading, but feel free to click around to different tabs while this is uploading, or you can minimize your screen and work on something else, such as your email. So this was a very long recording, so it took about maybe 15 minutes for this to finally upload. And now that it's uploaded, I can click on this and I can see the video play out. This view that you're watching right now is the editing view. So here's what you would see, and you can edit the details of your video. So now if I were to go back home and start all over again, type in YouTube, and if I want to find this video again, I would then scroll down and click Your Videos. And here it will bring up a list of all the videos I have uploaded. I'm like, okay, I want to select Advanced Zoom, and here I can see the video play out. Here on the button that says Share, I'd click this and copy this link and share it out to whoever I want to view this video. I can also edit my video. in case I would like to make any changes. And by edit, I mean just the information that you posted in your Zoom. There's no way to really edit the video itself. All you can really do is just edit the details of what is stated about your video. So this concludes how you can upload a video to YouTube.
All right. Do we have any questions?
Yes, we have one that I'm not sure of the answer, and I Googled a little right now while we were waiting, so I have a little bit more insight, but I wanted to see if you knew a finite answer. So Thomas asked, let me find it. He said, if I upload an unlisted video to a channel specific to each of my classes, will it show to anyone subscribed to the channel? So it's an unlisted video on a channel for the class.
So when someone subscribes, they're subscribing to see the public videos that are posted. So keep that in mind. And I figured this out because I had originally put a bunch of videos in TLC YouTube channel and I had them as unlisted. And I sent out the subscribe link. And a lot of my fellow colleagues said, I clicked on the subscribe and I didn't see any videos there. And I said, oh, it's because they're unlisted. You have to remember, unlisted means it cannot be found when they go to YouTube. Even if they have a direct link to your YouTube channel, they're going to click on the YouTube channel and they're going to see a blank. No, there's not going to be any videos there listed. So your best bet would be have it public. But I mean, you have to really think about how you want to go about it. You can have your videos as unlisted, but you would just have to be responsible in sharing those particular links for each per video to your students. And that can be through Canvas or through email, any kind of messaging that you would like to do to communicate that. Great question.
Yeah, and Thomas saying even if they're subscribed, yeah, I think YouTube's, like Mallory was saying, I think that it's a little bit tricky with that unlisted and public playlist area. If you're concerned, you can feel free to always share those videos with us and we can tell you if we're seeing them or not if we subscribe, because it does get a little bit murky in some of the waters of sharing videos on YouTube.
Yeah, and keep in mind that this is very basic that we're covering. There's a lot more that YouTube can do, but again, we're just covering the basics of just how do I get my video from my computer into YouTube? And that's pretty much what we're trying to cover. We don't want to really overwhelm anybody with the nitty gritty of just how, I guess, interactive that YouTube allows you to be with your videos. But great questions. Keep those coming. All right, so let's move on here. I'm going to skip over this section just for time, but you have that PDF. And if you are wondering, okay, I've uploaded my Zoom recordings, now you can go back and delete them. And I created this section on the PowerPoint in that PDF that we put in the chat. And this is going to cover step by step how you can delete those videos that you no longer need, which will allow you to open up more space in your Zoom recordings. So again, just for time's sake, it's very simple. I even did a little video that kind of plays it out step by step. But for the sake of time, we're just going to skip over that. If we find that we have time left, then I will definitely go back and review this section. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to Amanda, and I'm going to kind of take over in the chat and let her start off with the editing captions in YouTube.
Yes. And do you mind going through the pages, Mallory, still?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So go to the next page. So I'm going to cover editing captions in YouTube. So I know that there are several people that are concerned about accessibility options for their students and for staff. And captions in YouTube is a great way to meet some accessibility needs. The good news, YouTube automatically creates captions for your videos. It should do so automatically, but if you ever want to help it out a little bit, I choose that my language in my video is English. I don't know how much it helps, but sometimes my captions are loaded a little faster. The bad news, though, it is a computer program that is trying to match your speaking voice and your tone and your words to words in whatever dictionary this computer program is going through. So there's issues with that, obviously. Sometimes it might catch the wrong word. There's very little punctuation and no capitalization almost. But again, it's still, if I've used YouTube captions on videos that are not perfect, for videos of my own viewing, and you still get the idea of what the speaker's trying to say. But if you would like to make sure that your captions are completely correct, you can edit your captions in YouTube. You can actually edit a lot in YouTube. Um, so Mallory, will you go to the next slide, please? So I'm actually going to skip through, I think, the next 3 slides, and we're just going to go straight ahead and play the video. So these intermediate slides kind of give you screenshots to follow along the way. But I created a video that shows you how to edit these captions because it is a little overwhelming. If I went through all of the steps verbally, it seems like a lot, but it's really actually just a lot to get to the YouTube caption editor. The editing themselves are a little bit, it's actually very easy. So Mallory, if you'll skip ahead just about 4 slides, I think. Yep, and then click on that link.
Let's go over how to edit captions now that you've uploaded your video to YouTube. Look in the top right-hand corner and you should see a circle. The circle will either have your picture or your initial for your email. Either way, as long as you see something here, that means you're signed in. If you're not signed in, go ahead and do so. Once you're ready, click on the circle and scroll down on this menu options to YouTube Studio. This is opening a different side of YouTube that's used for analytics and editing your videos. On the left-hand side, we have another menu toolbar. I'm going to go ahead and select Videos. From here, you select which video you would like to edit the captions for. I'm going to select this one, and you just click on the thumbnail. Now you're on your video details page. It talks about your title, your description, and shows you your video off to the right-hand side where you can play it and find the link. On the left-hand side, we have details that help us with the actual YouTube Studio part of your videos. I'm going to scroll to the bottom where it says Subtitles. Click there. And now your screen may vary a little bit on what it brings up to you depending on how you set up your video. I'm going to focus on the right-hand side where it says Subtitles, and I'm going to focus specifically on the one that says the subtitles are published. These are the automatic subtitles that YouTube added to my video after I uploaded it. I'm going to click on the button Duplicate and Edit so I can change up the captions if I need to. Once I click that button, it brings me my subtitle editor page. So first, I'm going to point out a couple things that you can see. On the bottom is a little bit more technical. You see it shows timing and it shows some of the words that might be in the captions. I typically don't mess with things in this bottom toolbar. I'm going to focus on this left-hand side where you see this chunk of paragraph. Now right now it's just one giant paragraph of text that YouTube marked up with my video and guessed as to what I'm saying. You'll notice that there's some capitalization missing. There's a couple things that are underlined. Maybe they're spelled wrong or YouTube's not familiar with them. I actually like to click on this blue button that says Assign Timings. When I click there, it chunks up that giant paragraph into different sections, and that just helps me see it a little bit easier. It also shows me what time these captions are occurring, and I usually don't change that. It's set up automatically, so it's pretty accurate. I can delete it if I don't want that caption to be a part of my video. And then in this left-hand box, I can click and actually start editing the captions. Now, a couple things I want to draw your attention to. While I'm clicked in this box, it turns gray for this section, meaning I'm editing this little section only of the captions. And on the right-hand side, it shows you a preview of the captions on your actual video. And as I change the caption, it will update in real time. So for example, maybe I want to capitalize the word welcome. Also, I don't like that it's spacing out my text into 4 different lines. So if I hit the delete button, now that looks a little bit nicer in my preview. It also helps if you know that you're using a word that is typically misunderstood but might be important for your students or whoever is viewing your videos to see the correct spelling. So for me, I was giving a presentation on a software platform called Quizzes. Now YouTube spelled it in this way, which is not the fault of YouTube because that's how you spell the word quizzes, but this platform has a different spelling. and it's important to my viewers that they see the correct title. So I went through and updated that, and I might go through and find some other places. You can also take out those pesky ums we all know appear during our presentations. When you're ready and you think you've gone through your captions and you've updated what you are worried about or concerned about for your viewers, you can click Publish, or if you're not quite ready to be done and you've just been working for a bit, you can click Save as Draft. Once you hit Publish, though, your captions are updated and there's nothing else that you need to do. Your captions will be edited the way you wanted them.
Okay, so that was a lot of information all at once about editing the captions.
Texture.
I saw.
When has she ever used this exact noise texture ever before? It's also new to me, but I like it. So I'm going to make like a.
Mallory, you got it? Thanks. Okay, so I see Linda's question in the chat, and she's asking about globally editing terms. I actually just stuck to the very basics of the editing caption software. It's actually really advanced and it's really neat. So I have a feeling that the answer is yes. You probably can go through and globally edit a phrase, but I did not go over that today because we're just sticking to the basics. But I encourage all of you, if you like playing around with technology, go check out that YouTube Studio editor. I just went to the subtitles page, but you can also go to the editing page, and I know that there's a lot more cool features in there. And then Joseph, I see your question too. Under Add Captions, could you upload a file, or did I miss that? Is the transcript Word doc that you referred to, is that the transcript Word doc that you referred to earlier? So in the essence of time, I discovered when I was helping Mallory with this section of the presentation that uploading the transcript in YouTube is a little crazy. It's very possible, but it's very complex. Especially, there's just a few like ifs. Like if you did this, it makes it harder. So yes, if you download your audio transcript, instead of clicking duplicate and edit, where I edited the captions, you can click the word add, and you can upload a Word document, you can upload a PDF, you can upload one of those TXT files. But the trouble is, if you edited your video ahead of time, like I typically do when I give presentations, I go back and edit some of the like breakout sessions. It messes up the entire Zoom transcript timings because I took out sections that were in the Zoom meeting that are no longer in my YouTube meeting. So you can upload those transcripts, but I would recommend making sure your video is unedited, or else it just messes everything up. So I know that was kind of a long answer, but it's possible. It's just a little bit more difficult. Okay, that was it for editing captions.
All right. Thank you so very much, Amanda. Okay, so this is pretty much the recap of what we covered. And if you don't mind, we would love to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the TLC YouTube channel. And what's really great is that we have our playlist, and I organize it by color. So for example, the lime green is all Canvas related videos, red is BioSig. And then of course, if you're not familiar, we do have our TLC Friday webinars, and we also upload, including this video as well, gets uploaded to our YouTube channel, and we have a playlist that's just titled Friday webinars or Zoom recorded sessions. So again, if you have capability, we welcome you to subscribe.
And I put that link in the chat.
Yes. Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Amanda. All right. So this ends our YouToo Can YouTube training. Try saying that 5 times with vampire teeth. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to just unmute yourselves and feel free to ask. Thank you all. We all hope that you have a wonderful and safe Halloween tomorrow.
I had one question before we left.
Yes.
And this is it. Every day at the very beginning of my class, I do Song of the Day. And it's a song having to do with what we're going to be talking about in class that day. and it's almost always YouTube. I'm sharing the screen and I'm sharing the video, so that's going to show up seamlessly in the upload, right?
Say that again. What's going to share? What's going to show?
I share the screen when the video is playing. So that's going to be, and you can see it in the Zoom. That's not going to cause any problems like chicken and the egg kind of problems. A YouTube video in a YouTube video in a YouTube video or something weird like that, is it?
It hasn't happened yet.
It will happen to me, I bet.
But that should wake me up at 3 a.m. tonight, but thank you.
Sure, no problem. Glad I can help.
Actually, Tori, there's some good thoughts in the chat about that too, because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about maybe some copyright issues. I don't think the YouTube, the meta part of that is going to be an issue. I know that sometimes YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook can be a little particular with their copyright issues. So you could start recording maybe after the song was played, but also you're sharing it with students. I don't feel like you're not like posting this publicly on some major splash page. I doubt you're the person they're going to come after. And I don't even mean come after in the sense that this is a dangerous thing, but I just, I don't think they're the person that you're going to like target.
Thank you all for coming. This was really great. The TLC is always really excited to come out with a new presentation that can really meet the needs of all faculty and staff. So thank you very, very much.
I just wanted to add a big thank you to Amanda and Mallory. Aren't they awesome? We're so lucky to have them. I mean, dedicated to helping faculty. So we're really appreciative that we're able to have them.